Hello, I am Davina, and hello to all of you, very, very bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. Today, I'm going to talk about full submission. What I've discovered is that, as you know, there are the five well-known, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and flop. Flop is a kind of a new one that has been, I think people are getting more aware of it. And what I've also discovered is flop is also like full submission. When we were children, our parents brainwashed us and abused us into a fully submissive kind of state, so where we would do anything for them. We had lost our, we had lost our instinct for self-protection, lost our instinct to fight back, and because of the abuse and the punishment that they were inflicting on us. And this happens in other situations, as I think I've mentioned in some other videos. But for example, like prisoners of war or people who are sex trafficked. And what happens is when the person has been captured, they first will fight, right? Like most people have the instinct to first fight and try to defend themselves. But after a while, they realize that this is not going to do them any good. In fact, it gets them usually harsher, more cruel, painful punishments. And so it doesn't take long before you brainwash and abuse that person into a state where they will do, I will do anything. You just like get into that, like, I will do anything to survive. I will do anything to avoid this punishment and this pain. And that's how people control their sex, their sex workers, they keep them under control, and they take away their identity, they take away, their rights. And so yeah, when I'm in this really like deep, like flop state, the main emotions I think are the shame, the self-blame, and there's a deep sense of sadness and hopelessness. And usually also, I think, a learned helplessness that goes along with the hopelessness, that there's nothing that I can do. It's sort of like, what's the point? Because that's what the parents drive you into. Like, what is the point? Because you realize that no matter what you do, they are going to come down on you. They are going to shame you. They are going to blame you. They are going to criticize you. They are going to insult you. They are going to ignore you. They are going to invalidate you no matter what. And you realize that you are powerless. So it's a very powerless state, this flop, full submission that I'm now calling this. And it's our nervous system. Our nervous system just automatically goes into this state. So it's important just to be aware of it. It's a state, the kind of state where you're just like, sitting in a chair and you're looking at a wall and you can't even do anything. It's in a state of immobility. And it's a state where, yeah, we have lost that fight, that drive to protect ourselves. So if you're in this state, sometimes all you can do is just ride it out. Some gentle movement can sometimes help if you can reach that anger. um, Sometimes it's very difficult to reach a place of like getting angry. So don't try not to shame yourself further. If you're like, sometimes I'm like, it's like, I should be getting angry and I'm not getting angry. Why am I not feeling angry? And then it just adds more suffering. So the anger will eventually come. At least it has for me, and it has for me today, where I've finally just like, it gets so painful fawning. It gets so, so painful. And I realize as I heal, the more I heal, the more painful it becomes to look back on the day before and go, crap, there I was again, just completely in a submissive, passive state, just like in desperation. Um, and it's incredibly painful. And what we can do for ourselves is to forgive ourselves, because it's also really important to understand that you did not have control over over this brainwashing, over this wounding. You did not have control as a child. And even now, as an adult, no matter how much healing work you think you've done, um, or you have done, we still do not have control over that automatic fawn response. It is a deeply ingrained trauma response that we used to survive. So it's really important that you comfort that child, inner child, and let them know that you're not angry with them, that you forgive them, that you know that they were doing the best that they could to survive a horrific situation. Because the self-blame can be very, very insidious, and we can just be in it and not even realize that we are taking on that blame rather than, putting it on our abusers where it belongs. But all of this anyway is difficult and messy, and yeah, it's just, it's just small awakenings like day after day after day. And yeah, I guess one thing that I experience is like this thing like I should know better, which is not true, right? It's not like I should know better. It's I'm still like being controlled by my subconscious conditioning. So unless I go out in the world like super, even if I go out in the world super, super like conscious and aware and I try, it just takes over. Like the shame just can take over, and I'm saying something and I'm not saying something and I'm like, why can't I speak up in this situation? Or why? And I look back on it later going, it's just like we're frozen, we're frozen in this kind of shame, deep, deep shame and blame place where we, um, yeah, only know how to be like kind of that passive, submissive, and it just takes a long, long time in my experience to change this, especially, I think at my age, I think because also I've been, fawning for an extra like 30 years. It maybe, I don't know for sure, but it's maybe more deeply ingrained. If you're young and you're already healing, hopefully, I hope for you that it won't take as long to unwind and heal all of this. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to sort of bring that insight into a video today, and I hope you are doing well. So try to bring yourself some forgiveness, and yeah, remember your rights as well. In any situation, in any interaction, remember your rights. You have the right to say no, you have the right to walk away, you have the right to, you know, anyway, remember your rights. I think I have a video on that too, so check that out. Thank you again. Wishing you many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I'm Davina. Thanks for watching.